In one of my past jobs, I automated my role. It was a marketing gig, and essentially all the work I was doing was repetitive, and it made sense to automate it. It made sense to get rid of the role. I put myself out of a job. Now, most people who are in the 9 to 5 probably wouldn't think like this in terms of replacing themselves with robots, right? A lot of people wouldn't want to do this, especially people who have been at a company for many, many years. Now, I was only there for 6 months, and then within the last 3 months, we all easily determined that the role could be automated with some development, with some simple marketing adjustments, and yeah, it didn't really take much time at all to put it all together and automate the role. And I'm going to go through the process of automating this and what you can do to automate your job to make you actually more appealing as an employee, not less appealing. Because if you are able to solve problems that improve efficiency, that actually will bode well for you. And let's break this down. So most of what I do over the past, over 10 years, I've been doing email marketing. That's really my bread and butter. I like doing email marketing. I like building email marketing campaigns for companies. I like improving percentages of click-throughs. I love testing to see what works. Email marketing is definitely my thing. Among others, I would say email marketing, I've spent the most time there, and it gives you the most returns. If you're a small business, you should have email marketing. It's one of those things that gives you the best returns compared to, say, social media, where you have to build audiences. I mean, with email marketing, you might have a bunch of emails already. So setting up an email campaign is pretty straightforward. So that's what I did for businesses for 10 plus years, still doing it, and it really hasn't changed much. I mean, getting people to listen to what you say hasn't really changed much as far as email. Certainly there are more bells and whistles, but the fact is you have content, text, whatever, and you want to send it over to someone else who has an email address. It's pretty much straightforward. What has sort of taken over the past 5 years, has really become mainstream is email marketing automation. You see, that's what's really evolving, and that's taking away the process of email marketing, because, you could send one email and that triggers dozens, hundreds of subsequent emails following that one. And that's automation, because that 100th email doesn't require anyone to send. And you can have different variables like send on this day or skip this email if they click here. So you can have different triggers to effectively give personalized email campaigns to your list. Well, with this particular job, I was sending 20 different emails a day to 20 different campaigns all over Canada and the US. So it was a challenge for anyone to manage that many different campaigns in a day. So the solution was to automate these emails that were going out, to turn them into templates, to turn them into emails that can be replicated no matter which company we worked with. And that's what we did. We developed it so that all you had to do was throw in some images, hit send, and instead of spending 2 to 4 hours on an email, it could take a couple minutes, and anyone could have managed it. So that's essentially what happened, is we used development to cut down on the process of sending emails. We used templates, we used different series, different triggers, and it all did it for us, the automation. So a company comes in, company gets added to the email list, they get the welcome email, they get this, they get that. It was all manual before. Some companies would get 6 or 7 emails, so we're like, well, let's automate it so that all 6 or 7 happen on their own, right? It would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. And I put myself out of a job because that was the majority of my job, was sending emails all day and crafting the perfect campaigns. And we used automation to replace it. And I could have stayed on with the company to move over into another project, but I had decided after I automated this that I would leave on good terms and move on to the next adventure, because I like building things, and that's what I did. And that's what I would recommend everyone try to do, is look at inefficiencies in the company. Things that you do on a daily basis that you shouldn't be doing. A robot should be doing it. Or some sort of triggers should be handling it for you, or AI or something. Try to figure out those inefficiencies and figure out what kind of system can be built so that you don't have to do them. And why am I saying this? Well, I'll tell you why. If you don't come up with this project, someone else will. Eventually. And eventually you'll be out of a job. But if you're proactive, it shows that you're someone worth keeping around. Someone the company should groom and grow. And I mean, if that's your responsibility in this company, is to be with this company, then you should try to make your job easier so you can take on more responsibilities. Otherwise, why be there? Don't just be there to exist. Be there to make some difference. Any sort of manual entries you can look at. If you take a step back and think it through. Think through why you have to do this or that. Put the pieces together. See what can be automated. So that, yes, you might put yourself out of that job, but that actually could set you up for a promotion to another job in the company, or it'll set you up so that you're so attractive to other employers that you will be hired to do the exact same responsibility for another company, because there are plenty of companies out there and they could use your help. So think about all of that and then decide how you want to package this automation program that maybe you could be responsible for. That's tremendous resume value, because you're proactively saying, I'm going to take care of this job so I can move on to the next thing. Look for the manual entries, though. Solve those manual entries. Go from company to company solving manual entries. Become the automation expert. I mean, if that's your thing, right? I'm just saying, you want to figure out how to get promoted or perhaps move on or become more valuable to the world, then solve the problems that are eventually going to be solved by someone else, right? Accountants are going to look at this and say, hey, we need to automate this or get rid of this role. I mean, if you come along and say, yeah, here's how we're going to do it, then that's tremendous value. I don't see automation taking over for businesses as quickly as we might think, because there will always be small businesses that pop up and they might not have the resources to have AI or automation or whatnot, and that's where you can come in. You can do the entries to take care of what needs to be taken care of. You can do the automations and whatnot, piece it all together. You can make it happen. That's what I would recommend. There's plenty of jobs out there too, so if you can automate yours, nothing wrong with that. Okay, I think think that's all I've got for this one. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, bye.